In our last session, we extended the lip on our pinch pot and added a footing. In this session, we're going to add a handle. To start, we're going to need a carrot-shaped coil. So we're going to squeeze a coil and roll it out. Remember to twist the opposite ends in opposite directions to prevent flat spots from forming. Once we get our carrot shape, we're going to take it and slam it down on one side firmly on the table to flatten it out. We're going to use this coil to pull a handle. Wet your hands real good so that they slide easily over the clay. The opening between my thumb and forefinger looks something like this. You don't need to tug hard on the clay, just brush your hand down the clay with a slight pull in order to allow gravity and water to drag and stretch the clay into a handle shape. Now we just want to shape it a little bit more, and I'm going to add a ridge to this to incorporate this into my design a little bit. So I'm placing the coil down on the table and I'm pressing firmly with my finger down the middle to build a little ridge, and I'm going to clean this up as I work. You don't have to do it this way, however, I think this is a nice design touch that I'd like to add. Now before we can use this handle, we're going to need to allow it to rest and dry to leather hard. I'm using a paper towel tube to help it hold its shape as it dries, so it doesn't slump. While this one's drying, I'm going to use the handle that I made earlier that's already dried to leather hard. We're going to test fit it and trim it so that it fits, and shape it just a little bit more so that we get the right fit so that this handle looks like it belongs. We don't want to stick the top of the handle directly to the rim. We want to place it down a little bit lower so that it doesn't deform the rim. Also, I like to make sure that my handles don't stick up above the rim so that I can store them upside down. Now we're just going to score and slip in order to attach this. So making sure that we score both the cup and the handle and provide enough slip so that it's stuck on there good. Press firmly and blend clay from one piece right to the other so that you get a good firm stick. I'm going to use a tool to help me blend this seam right here and make sure that everything is stuck together really well. Make sure the top of the handle is stuck on there really good before you move on to sticking the bottom. And again, we're going to do the same thing with the bottom. We're going to make sure that we score it very well, add a good amount of slip, and press and seal the bottom right to the cup. Now I'm just going to spend a little time making sure that my handle is stuck on there good, smoothing the seams and blending the handle into the cup. As I was working on the handle, I noticed the rim is a little bit uneven, so I'm going to take a shredder tool and shred down a little bit of the unevenness so I have a nice flat lip. To ensure that I don't have any issues with my handle cracking, I'm going to add a little bit of reinforcement by rolling out a really thin, small coil that I can wrap around the upper connection and blend into the pot to provide extra support. This isn't always necessary, but it's nice to have a little bit of insurance to make sure that our handle doesn't fall off. Now to finish off this pinch pot cup, we're going to just clean it up a little bit more. Now, it may be tempting to try out this handle, but I do not recommend picking it up by the handle until your work has been fired. Otherwise, you might find your mug smashed on the floor and the handle just left in your hand. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing.